oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. Welcome to the mind of H.P. Lovecraft. Call of Cthulhu.
Doctor Who, all kind of stuff like that.
And we are live and in front of an audience, everybody, so stop talking. Welcome to Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express. I'd like to point out that Chris was misrepresenting us by saying the Terror on the Orient Express, but technically he didn't say that either. He said Terror on the Orient on many other streams, which got us some more subscriptions. I ended up getting 4 subscriptions from him. Turns out he turned an entire party of people onto my channel. So thank you, Chris. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Yep, I know who they all came from because they all sent me a message saying they love me, and I love the love messages. So gotta love it. On a more worse note, I did get some hate mail today, but we won't talk about that. This is a game. Anyway,
haters gonna hate.
Yep, that's what we're gonna live on. So here we go. All right. So I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourselves, and I'm gonna introduce myself last. Let's go to Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris. I'm just kidding, Chris. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm SpartaChris, and I am playing the soldier Gregory Carmichael. So, yes. That's about it.
Moving on to our next one, Mr. Witch King.
Hello, I'm the Witch King, and I am playing Brian Lawless, the star baseball player of Boston, who didn't like Babe Ruth at all, but because he just left the team, and I'm like, come on, man, you stole my spotlight, and I get to do it. But anyways, he is a stupid, not very bright, not very attractive, not very educated, short, unhealthy, very strong, however, human, and he's a star baseball player, of course. He's from San Antonio, Texas, and resides in Boston, Massachusetts. And he also fought in World War I, alongside Gregory Carmichael, and they together met Draco Ravenwolf, and that is where I will finish.
All right, and then we are going on, and okay, no one's gonna interrupt me now. All right, we'll get back to you, Chris. And moving on to Mr. Colin over here. Introduce yourself and your character, please.
I'm ArcherColin, and I'm playing Draco Ravenwolf. I'm male, and I served in World War One. Other than that, I'm pretty much exactly the opposite of our baseball player here. an antiquarian, very in tune with the occult and with the spiritual, and interested in finding out things. I'm an archaeologist and historian.
All right. All right.
Oh,
Is that it for,
and I speak with an English accent.
we got that part. Okay.
You
Awesome.
do? You do?
Before I introduce myself, Mr. Chris, did you want to say something on the behalf of after Witch King introduced his character?
Oh no, I just got distracted by someone in the background. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right, well, here we go. And my name is Tabletop Junkie. I'm your man in leather, the man with the whips. No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. I'm not. We're not that kind of way here. I'm today your keeper of arcane lore, or you can just call me the keeper. I'm going to be the storyteller, and I will be setting the scenes. We left off with our characters arriving, I believe it was by automobile, to Cheapside, to a sort of a rundown, grody old place, and they are here to meet Dr. Julius Smith, who was said that just very recently, from a little recap, was had his house burned down and he was somehow trapped inside, but saved by his butler Beddoes. We begin nighttime outside of the apartment building. How do you guys proceed?
Well, I mean, we already did the before we ended last time. I think we already did. I did a quick look around to see if we were anything suspicious going on. And nothing. I rolled a success. And nothing was happening, so we just went in.
All right. So you guys roll. You guys go in. You guys are given the exact number of which door you're supposed to enter. You go up a couple floors, and you come to that door.
So I'll knock on the door, see if anyone answers.
The door opens slowly, and out peeks the butler Beddoes, and he goes, "You've come. Yes, Master Smith is looking to speak with you. Please come in, but please be warned. This site is not for the faint of heart."
What happened, Beddoes?
Master Smith will explain everything. And he opens the door and gestures for you guys to walk inside.
I walk inside.
All right. So he walks inside. The room is very dark. It looks like there's no lights on, nothing. As you enter the room, there's not even a candlelight. And you guys hear some wheezing of, like I can't do a good wheezing sound. Man, I probably could if I was sick, but you hear the breathing of very much wheezing and heavy breathing. And he goes, as Beddoes stops you from approaching any further, he goes, you hear a voice goes, "Thank God you have come. Because of my injuries, I cannot bear to talk for long, so please listen, and Beddoes will answer any questions for me. I've been on a trail of an occult artifact of great malevolence. The Zendeftakar, I can't say that last word, simulacrum. Yep, I can't say that 10 times fast. Yep, there you go. It is a statue, a source of great magical power, evil power. At the end of the 18th century, it was taken apart and the pieces scattered across Europe. I plan to retrieve the pieces and to destroy it. Last night, Beddoes and I was attacked in our home by Turkish madmen. I think they too seek the simulacrum, but for foul purposes. We barricaded ourselves indoors, so they tried to burn us alive, but we got away. I'm afraid to come out of hiding, for these men would stop at nothing. Beddoes had a plan for us to escape, but the less aid of the better. My notes were destroyed in the fire, unless the Turks have them. They must not be allowed to recover the statue. I ask you, my friends, to collect it before they can reach it.
Well, that's strange. The Turk's already dead.
Here is what I remember of my researches. The first is Paris, was where the statue was dismembered. The owner was a noble Comte Fenelic, who lost it just prior to the French Revolution. Some part of it may still be in France. Second, Napoleon's soldiers carried a piece into Venice when they invaded the city. It was sold to Avalise de Grimassi. Another fragment made its way to the Trieste at the same time. I do not know what become of it, but look up Joanne Winkelmann at the museum there.
Is anyone writing this down?
Yes, is anyone writing this down?
Nope.
That's what replay's for.
It's very unique names that are going over my head.
Okay.
We need to write this down, though. This is the clues we
In
need.
character, if I could see what I was doing, yes, but it's dark.
Okay.
I need someone to write it down because I forgot everything. I'm so bad.
It's okay. I will keep the clues for you. You just have to roll me a knowledge idea check if you need to remember anything.
Amongst other things, we can't actually write
what
them
is
down
Brian's
as characters 'cause
what
we
is
can't see
Brian's
anything.
what is Brian's idea score or knowledge score, whatever it would be called, intelligence score? There you go.
His intelligence is 35.
Oh God, you ain't remembering shit. That's low.
Looks like Draco and I will be taking care. We'll be handling the brain power here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully he's got. What's his strength score? Is that at least halfway good? We know his health isn't good.
His strength is 75.
Okay. So looks like you're the muscle of this group. All right, here we go. Let me continue here before I start choking on my own spit for real life, and then we get to hear that. Because it's hard to mimic this voice. I think there may be a piece in Serbia. Start at the Belgrade Museum. Dr. Milovan Todorovic is the curator. One part was lost near Sofia during the Bulgarian War in 1875. At the time, things of value were hidden from the invaders, so it may be buried somewhere. The final piece was in circulation in Paris just after the Great War and was sold to someone from Milan. I do not know who. That is all I can tell you. You must try and collect it. When you have it, there is only one sure way to destroy it. And destroy it you must. You must take it back to its original home, a place in Constantinople known as the Shund Mosque. Mosque. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm also imitating a guy who's very badly burned or is suffering smoke damage in his lungs. Good thing I got healthy lungs, or else this would be realistic. There are niches there in which it once lay. A ritual which will destroy it utterly is included in the set of documents known as the Sedefkar Scrolls, but I have been unable to consult them. I am sorry, my friends, for you, for me, for all of us. Please do this for me. Go quickly. God help you all. And suddenly he just starts coughing and hacking, and Beddoes goes over to him and hands him some water, and he sips it.
So are you talking about these? Are you talking about the Sultan Ahmed Mosque?
You guys are really hung up on just pronunciations, aren't you? Yes.
Oh, I mean, it was formerly known as the Hagia Sophia.
Oh, cool. I know about that place.
Anywho, back to the game.
Interesting.
So, yep, he's coughing, he's hacking, he's taking a sip of water. What do you guys do? Did you guys have any questions?
Well, but the first question I was going to answer was, wouldn't it have been easier just to smash one piece of the thing? But apparently not.
No, apparently they're
'cause
weaker when they're all together.
Yeah, but if you got to, yeah, but if someone wants to collect this thing which is in pieces, put it together, smash one piece and they can't put it together. But apparently that doesn't work. You've got to do it at where it was made, which is fair enough.
Which was the former Hagia Sophia.
Yeah. Well, Steve's an interesting question because this was. It's not even an interesting question. The connection is with the. I know those places.
The Hagia Sophia or the other places that you described?
No, those names. They sound. There's a reason those names sound. They're a root. Holy shit! That's the Orient Express. Now the Orient Express has only been around for about 40 years, so it. Oh, well, that's a coincidence, or if for some reason the Orient Express was built going through those places for a reason connected. Or am I just being really, really weird here? Interesting question, though, isn't it? But once the professors stopped, once Beddoes is free again, I've got to ask him to A, if we can go somewhere we can actually see what we're doing so we can write things down, and B, double check all that information, make sure we've got all the information correct.
Beddoes comes over to you and says, "Gentlemen, my master is in mean circumstances by choice to evade those wicked men. He wishes to contribute to your success and desires no accounting. Before this dreadful attack, he had planned to travel the via Cyplon Orient Express. The Orient Express services offers the finest, fastest, and most reliable rail transport on the continent. And my master is accustomed to comfort, as you may or may not have known."
Yes.
He holds up a metal can, and he reveals to you that he has collected 1,000 pounds, which is currency over in this land.
Oh, yeah, I lost you for
And
a second
ticket, right? 1,000 pounds, and in there are one ticket for each of you to travel the Orient Express.
Well, shall we, gentlemen?
Let this adventure begin.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right. So, since it's late at night, are you guys going to try and make it to the train station to see when the next departure is, or do you guys want to head back to the hotel and make a plan first?
I suggest we start fresh in the morning.
Yeah, we should make a plan first, though.
I would imagine that you gentlemen would have plenty of.
We just need to keep Brian. We just have to keep Brian away from the alcohol.
No, I would imagine you gentlemen have both got plenty of. Obviously, you packed for a long trip. Didn't pack massively amount, but I've got enough to go along with, I think.
Remember, you guys have already been in this land. You guys have already been over in London for 10 days, and you're only supposed to be over here for at most 14.
Well, no, what I said is I'm assuming that the two guys, since they've had a 4-day trip, they would have packed for a long trip. So they probably got clothes, supplies, and I wouldn't necessarily have done because I'm one train journey from home.
But my counter reasoning that I was countering is, even though they had 4 extra days on a boat, they may be experienced for a few more days, but not a whole nother week, because now you don't know how much longer you're going to be over here. Now you guys have been tasked to handle another situation.
So basically what we'll be we'll have to wait maybe until at least tomorrow afternoon, because maybe next morning we'll be getting out to gather supplies and any additional supplies that we
Yeah,
need, and get our clothing arrangements sorted.
that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Is that we might need we might need a certain level of good formal clothing, etc., for dining. I don't know. Certainly, we need to look into that as well. In fact, the tickets now might tell us something I don't know. So we'll check the tickets and anything else we've got.
Plus, you have newspaper clippings from past events that just happened in this last 24-hour time period.
Yeah.
Does
I'm thinking of.
Do the tickets at all give us a time specific, or is it a choose at any time you'd like?
Actually, because they are first class, so it's basically any time the nearest departure to your liking.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, they are so for this time, like a ticket on the Orient Express, what would be considered a high class value ticket, which just gets you on to like some of the lower, like some of the part of the rich part would be like $6. This is equivalent to a $12 ticket, which is unheard of for that expensive ticket for this time frame. So you guys are like top comfort.
Awesome.
VIP ticket,
You guys will each have your own cabin.
Okay, good.
Yep.
That way we don't have to all bunk up in the same room. Oh, geesh.
Nope. You are right next to each other, so that way, if there's a problem, you guys should be able to hear if one's struggling in the other room in case in case there's trouble. But like, you're not going to be stuck together. It's you guys. There is probably going to be a brochure in there letting you know the perks of your ticket. So it's like, so as long as you're traveling on the train, you will have dinner parties, breakfast, lunch provided for you. Snacks, bars are accepting tips, which is only why the three of you only have like £1,000 between the three of you, because like 1 pound for a tip or even a half a pound for a tip is sufficient for this kind of era. Like it's so like you will have access to almost anything and everything on the Orient Express. That's the kind of ticket you got.
Well, I guess all that we can do now is just wish our farewells and best lucks to the good doctor and move on. Get it back to the hotel and go to get some rest before the adventure begins.
Yeah.
The doctor has already passed out from his coughing and hacking. Betos is looking over him, like as you guys are leaving, but you notice Betos is checking him to make sure he's still breathing.
Well, then we tell Betos good luck with the doctor, and to let the doctor know that our best wishes and prayers are with his quick recovery.
Thank you. I hope he will be fine too.
What is it the British say, dear Draco? Tally ho.
Let's be about it.
You guys head back to the hotel for the night. About this time, it's probably super late. So it's probably about equivalent to midnight. You guys still have the current days, or the days before newspaper clippings. So there was something that Chris did point out as a player. I don't know if his character pointed it out, but I will allow him to have it this one time. He did mention that the Turkish men are dead. So that newspaper clipping is probably so. When Gregory goes to his hotel room, you do have a copy.
I did mention that as a player.
Do you think your character might have an idea about that?
Well, I mean, we did have those articles we did read those articles yesterday. The last game.
I'll tell you what. I tell you what.
Which I think is where we worked out that actually they weren't the same guy. They were just three different people using the same name.
I tell you what. Gregory needs to give me an intelligence roll. Regular success or better.
Percentage, right?
Yep, percentile.
74, and I am. Well, that was an intelligence roll, you said?
Yep.
Ooh,
Intelligence idea.
Just barely got underneath there. I'm a
Well,
70. I got 74, and my intelligence is 75.
Whew, wow. Well, I told you one success or better. That counts. As Gregory goes into his hotel room for the night and gets ready to lay down, he does remember that there was 3 bodies in a hotel. Each man carries the same identity of Mr. Mehmet Makarat. And you still have that newspaper in your room. And does that... Do you... Is there any ideas inspired from that, do you think? For your character? Any clues?
I think if I would like, I think what I would. So they're at the hotel, right? This hotel, or are they another hotel?
No. The hotel that Mr. Mehmet was staying at was yours.
Okay. I would like to visit his room, see if any possibility that I could possibly sneak in or something of that nature, and do some investigating.
The room actually has been kind of cordoned off at the moment, even though I believe the death occurred. Let me see. The death occurred. Oh, it occurred in the room. Each the same room, I guess. So, yep, okay. Yep, give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Let's see. What is it for this? Is it stealth or sneak? Is the skill?
I have stealth.
All right, give me a stealth roll. What's your stealth at?
60, 20%.
Okay, 60%. Nice. All right, give me a roll.
44.
You succeeded. You do notice that there is a police officer. One police officer is actually, which they call constables, I believe, in London. Am I right about that, Colin? Constables? Is that the correct term? Okay, good.
Yep.
Well, thank you. All right, so you see one constable just standing outside the door. You manage to make a noise, which he's investigating, but you manage to, like, as you made that noise and you snuck behind something like a plant, he walks right past it, didn't even notice you as you make it to the room. The room is locked. You're going to need to find some way to open it without the key.
So basically, I Obi-Wan'd him.
Yep, pretty much.
Let me see here.
You got a lockpick skill?
I am looking to see if... Darn, no I don't.
What's the
I
base
don't
for the
think
lockpick?
there's a lockpicks. There's a locksmith.
Which is...
and a mechanical repair.
There should be a lockpick,
Locksmith, basically.
The locksmith is a 1%. So that's probably...
unless that comes under stealth.
Yeah, you have no way of opening that door.
I can smash it down.
Let me think here. How much...
I would like to point out that Gregory is in the scene alone.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yep.
How... Would anyone notice if the door was... smashed in? Well,
Possibly.
not smashed in, but it not smashed in, but I'm just saying, would the police officer take a close enough look at the door handle or anywhere around that area to see if the door was still properly secured?
I will say I will let the dice roll that, and he will get an advantage, which means I get to roll two doubles and take the lowest one.
Otherwise, my other option is to go downstairs and retrieve the key if it's hanging where it was with the other keys.
It could be, could not be. Your pick.
I think I'm gonna go the safe route, and I'm gonna go see if the key's there.
All right.
And I'll also get the assistance of Brian and Draco. So just in case if I need help with distracting the police officer again.
All right, fair enough.
So, Draco, Brian, I'm gonna need your help with something.
Sure, why not?
Those we each saw a Turkish man. His name was Mehmed. We each saw him. Mehmed, yes. And we find out this morning, before we went to go see the good doctor, that there was 3 Turkish men, all named Mehmed, that were killed in this hotel. Unfortunately, the door is guarded and locked. I need your assistance to retrieve the key and to distract the police officer, the constable that is protecting the door, so that I can get in and take a look around. Can I count on your assistance?
Of course.
Oh.
Draco?
One is tempted to wonder if those Turkish gentlemen were the other people looking for it that the good doctor mentioned.
Well, I mean, you have the good doctor who was attacked by a group of Turkishmen, and and oddly enough, we have 3 Turkishmen that died in this very hotel that all interacted with all 3 of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, if they are the opposition, so to speak, that the doctor was worried about.
Only one way to find out.
And also, I believe you guys would know this since you're one step away from saying it. I'm going to say it. Each Turkishman that died in this hotel had the same identity.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay.
We've already mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, because that was the newspaper clipping.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go back downstairs and we take a look at the assortment of keys behind the front desk. Is the key there?
Give me a stealth roll to see if you sneak behind the desk.
Would imagine they have the room on them.
And I would like, it's not very full, but there is a few more people than normal, so you're going to do this at a disadvantage, which means you roll 2 doubles and two, like basically your 10-10 die, you roll 2 of those with your single D10, and you take the highest value instead of the lowest.
So roll the 10 twice and the ones one time.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that didn't go so good. That was 90. And that one was 60. Oof.
And what is your stealth?
I'm going to...
So I got a 90, a 60, and a 4.
Okay, so you got 94 and 64. You have to take 94, so you failed. What is your stealth currently at?
60, so that is even worse.
You would need to spend 34 luck points to succeed. 35, actually.
I'm going to talk to the receptionist today.
Okay.
And ask him about the police officer upstairs. That was I understand.
Okay.
What are the chances that the police officer upstairs served with Draco?
We'll have to figure that out.
You never know.
You know what? I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you what I just rolled, but it's in your favor completely.
So what would be the chances of us convincing that police officer to letting us in?
100. Yes, that's 100. Now that you made me say it out loud, go away, honey. Yep. Yeah, it was 100% chance that the chances are Draco may know. All right, Draco. All right, so I will allow you to push a roll. Gregory can push his roll, but if you fail this time, you cannot spend any luck. Or no, I think you can, but even if you choose not to, the consequences are going to be even more dire. So I'm going to punish Gregory very severely if he fails this time. However, you do not do this at a disadvantage because Draco is going to roll his fast talk. He's going to roll his fast talk while talking to the receptionist, keeping him distracted. And is Brian going to do anything to maybe cause a distraction as well?
I don't have fast to have persuasion. Because I'm literally just trying to. I'm not trying to con him. I'm literally just trying to strike up a conversation, partly to distract him, but partly to find out.
Persuasion is more for conning. Fast talk is actually just social behavior.
Because I don't have fast talk.
Oh boy.
I'm on default on that one, so it's not worth. It's not worth my trying it.
Oh boy. Well, you can at least. We can still act out the scene, but I'm not going to make you roll for it.
No, that's what I said. I mean, that's what I said. I'm going to try and just talk to the guy.
Brian can try and fast talk. He has a 20% in it.
How about you two double team the receptionist and keep him extra distracted?
Okay.
So then I get to roll stealth again.
You get to roll stealth again.
Oh jeez.
Yep.
30.
Oh, you succeeded. What is that? Is that half?
Yes.
Oh, that's a hard success. Woohoo! Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna probably give you an extra bonus for that one. Anyway, as Draco and Brian walks up, what does Draco say to the receptionist as Gregory's trying to sneak the key?
Good evening. Well, actually, is this the lead? The police officer, one of my friends noticed upstairs. Would that be the room where there was something in the paper about 3 Turkish gentlemen being killed?
Yes, they were. Each of them were stabbed to death, but they carry the same identity. However, there's nothing more I can add on the matter.
Oh, okay, curious. I suspect I might have actually spoken to one of them. It was a Turkish gentleman was interested in the professor's
Seminar.
talk. Seminar talk, yes.
Well, everybody was interested in that. That's why the room was so big and it had so many people in there.
Oh,
That's why the seats were also coded for certain things. You know, that's why he had the names on it. Meanwhile, you see Gregory kind of like spider crawling a little bit carefully with the keys in his mouth. And he's just like trying not to bump the receptionist. Does Brian add anything to the conversation?
What's your name? He says to the receptionist.
Say that again?
He asks what the receptionist's name is.
My name is Adam. You know, like from the Bible.
Adam. I don't suppose you've heard of baseball, have you?
I've heard of the American sport, yes.
I'm what you might call a star player of it.
Yes, I know who you are, Mr. Lawless. I don't know. I don't follow baseball per se.
It's a lot like your cricket.
What's up?
It's a lot like your cricket, but a bit different.
No, it's more like rounders.
By
the
way, Gregory totally got the keys by now. He's already gone. He's already heading upstairs.
And I'm off to the side, just giving the A-OK sign.
It's like, we're okay. Stop talking. Let's go upstairs.
I'm gonna need Draco up here to distract the police officer since they are both war buddies.
But you don't know that until Draco sees it.
Oh, well, don't worry about it, Adam. I just wanted to know if you had any opinion about it, but don't worry. Well, I'll see you later.
Yep, no problem. And I do apologize for lack of conversation. It's been a rough, couple weeks hosting major parties for Mr. Smith, and then hearing what happened to poor Mr. Smith, Dr. Smith and his butler Beddoes, and we're just hoping that we can get everyone dispersed from here quickly because the money is about to run out for him. The time is running out for him in the rooms that he reserved for all of you, and we're not even sure if he's still alive. Of course.
No, I understand. I understand, and we won't distract you anymore. Thank you for your assistance anyway. But we won't distract you anymore.
You guys have a great day, and please get some sleep. So, you guys got the keys, and you go to the floor that Mr. Mamay Makaret was staying at, and once again, the police officer is still there. Draco, as you look at this officer, you notice that he was one of your actual, he was one of the men in your platoon that managed to survive.
Corporal Thompson?
Yep.
Is that you, Corporal?
Yes, Sergeant Ravenwolf. It's nice to see you again. How you been, Sarge? I don't know if they use that.
It was
slang.
Captain, actually.
Oh, Captain! Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. I'm sorry.
Captain's an officer. No. I'm saying
well, that's okay. Well, Captain Ravenwolf. I'm sorry. I know I called you Sarge, but I do apologize. It's been rough. After the war, I was in the asylum for a pretty while, right? The London asylum.
Well, I'm glad you obviously you done well for yourself. Joining the police. I'm pleased to see you're recovered and you're obviously putting your skills to good use.
So you begin having a flashback in the middle of mid-sentence. You somehow don't remember why you can't remember this, but suddenly a memory has surfaced. And you remember that Corporal Thompson was actually with you, and he grabbed onto your hand before you fell down the hole. He thought Gregory and Brian already fell, but then he slipped on some mud, and he was pulled down with you guys and into the darkness, and he was actually there with you, but you can't remember why, and you also can't remember if Dr. Smith has ever had any interaction with him. Because the strangest part about that is you thought everyone from your platoon was already dead.
Oh.
You cut back and Thompson was you hear Thompson saying it's like, yeah, after the asylum, I just can't remember that night, the night that you fell down that hole and I fell with you. It just still haunts me that I think we saw something that was just a memory.
It's strange, it's very strange. I just remember that myself.
I knew what
none of
happened,
us can remember, right? Yeah, I agree, Corporal. Sorry, Huntsman it should be now. I'm sorry. You obviously got a different, equally appropriate rank. But it's yes, it's. Did you when you were recovering? I don't recall you being with my friends and I. Did you come across Dr. Smith, Dr. Julius Smith, at all?
No, I've never met him. I wish I had
the
chance.
Because he was actually trying to help us with our memory recoveries. You see, there's something very weird going on. And the three gentlemen who were in that room behind you. Mm-hmm. They may have been involved. We were doing some work we were going to do some work for Dr. Smith, which may even have some bearing on what happened to us in France. Have the detectives been in and done their business in there yet?
Because they've already been in there, but they've sealed it off. They're not explaining as to why. You would have to talk to Inspector Fleming of Scotland Yard. Hopefully he'd be willing to listen. Unfortunately, this is above my pay grade. I am just a constable here, and I'm just here guarding, make sure no one comes in and tampers with evidence. About this time, Gregory has already snuck past the guard and has already opened the door. If Brian wants to sneak in with him, he needs to give me a stealth roll if he's up for it.
Okay.
All right, give me
let me see what my stealth is. It is a 30%, 10% above average for people. Let's see. Oh, let me just grab my dice out of the bag.
Nope, take your time.
That helps.
It does. It really does. I forgot that we don't have a dice roller channel on this category. So, here we go.
They didn't have forensic evidence back in that time.
No. Well, not. I think.
That is a 80 over 30. I failed.
Okay. 80 over 30?
Mm-hmm. It was 80% that I rolled. I have a 30% in stealth.
Yeah, you would have to spend 50 luck points to 50 luck points, I think. 50 or 51.
Not doing that.
Yep. The cost is too great. You've decided that, the constable looks
How about
at
you? How about you help distract?
Oh, he already is. So as you try to make it past, the constable says, can I help you, sir?
Yes, I'm
just close the door behind me.
Quietly.
Oh, yes, I'm just looking for the ballroom so I can see if the party's happening.
That would be downstairs on the base floor.
Make sure, I thought it was upstairs.
He can always act drunk so that he can distract the police officer even more.
Give me a persuasion roll to see if you can persuade that you are telling the truth.
Okay. Where's my persuade skill? Persuade is 10%. Let's see if I can do this.
Oh man!
Okay.
There we go.
Would the if the corporal remembers me from being there, is that because he was in my unit, so he doesn't remember the Americans at all?
He doesn't remember them because he was 10 paces behind you. He didn't see who you faced off with at the time, so he didn't know that the Americans were there originally.
Right.
By the way, I got a
so
67. I got a 67, and my persuade is 10%.
Oh yeah, that would be 58 luck points to succeed. You're not going to do that either. So
especially because I only have 19 luck.
Yeah, 19.
Yep.
I think you had 65
19
luck.
luck?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
For some reason, it's at 19. Hold on, let me set it at 60.
No, it's supposed to be 65.
Okay, I'm fixing it.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
I
we
mean,
go.
luck is.
It's fixed. Never mind.
Good.
I still don't want to spend any luck on that.
Yeah, I got that part. All right. So, meanwhile, as you guys are just talking, Gregory makes it right into the room, and you look around, and the room is clean. But you do see a blood stain on the carpet. Like a pool of blood, like 3 of them.
Okay. So it's completely clean. There's nothing that could be out of place or that could catch my attention, or I could do a spot hidden check.
Give me a spot hidden check.
34, and my spot hidden check is 70.
Oh my god, you did succeed. Give me 1 second. You do have hang on a second. I gotta look for something for you.
Chris, are you making a note of when you pass these tests?
Should I?
Well, yeah.
Yes, you need to be.
Yeah, because what you guys I think it's every time you pass one, you get it. You get when we get to the suitable accounting part of the game. That's how you go up. Because if you successfully pass the test, you get a chance to roll to improve your skill.
Okay, working on that now.
I think you do it at the end of. I don't. It's not an auto. It's not. I think you have to do it in an accounting phase, if you like, if I remember right. At the when the GM tells storyteller feels you've reached a point where you've got enough downtime to improve or whatever. But and I think you actually get a chance. So if you succeed 3 times, I think you get 3 attempts
I will walk through that. I would walk through that later.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That deals with me, so we will.
Yeah.
So you did not find anything out of place, but you did find an address, but it looks like it was marked with like a number or something, and it says 3 Bruffrey Lane, Islington.
Islington.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all. Nothing else. No.
Nothing else. But you do. But the address does stand out because you do remember from the newspaper that is the exact address of the home of Mame.
We lived in this country, did he? All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
he had set up.
Oh yes.
A furniture, or not furniture, but an antique furniture store.
No, it's an antique shop.
Oddities. Okay, antique shop. I was close.
That's discriminatory, Gregory. You think all Turkish people have Ottoman furniture shops or something?
But there was one more thing you did find, and I forgot about this. You did find a book checked out from the library about trains.
Trains, planes, and automobiles.
Nope, just trains.
I know, I'm joking. Okay, there's nothing hit that fell in the closet. Nothing underneath the beds. Nothing underneath the dressers.
Nope. And which is also weird because one other clue you did notice is there was no forced entry.
So that means that whoever either they killed themselves or whoever killed them they knew.
Yep.
Another
or
Turkish man, maybe. Or maybe there's more than just 3 Turkish men. Because we forgot to ask the doctor how many there were. Maybe I should give. Did I ever get the phone? Did we ever get the phone number from the doctor's assistant?
Was there phones at this time?
Yeah, phones have been around since like the 1890s.
Yeah, but You may find, I don't know if you'd necessarily had a number. What you might need to do at this time, you might have a number. What you might need to do would be to call a
hotline, or not a hotline, but operator. Yeah,
and ask. But
I mean, I can. Well, I mean, you always call the operator. Say, could I have?
The cheap site area would not have anything like that. That's more. I would say that's more of a middle to high standard, and you guys went to a decadent, low standard place, a place that the doctor would never be found in a million years, naturally. So no, there is no number, no way of communication with him.
Other than going back on hope, what?
But I mean, we forgot to ask how many people how many Turkish men were there with the doctor.
Hang on a second. I think he already told you.
Did he?
Nope, did not ask, and he did not say.
Well, fudge.
Well, but they may not know because they said they knew they were Turkish madmen, is what they said, but then they barricaded themselves in the doors in the house, which is why they put it on fire to smoke them out. So they probably didn't even get a good view because they were running for their lives.
Now, just doing a quick.
Do we know when this happened?
Just doing a quick cursory glance. It says by 1914, by 1904, there were over 3 million phones in the United States. So,
but you're not in the United States. You're also in London.
I know. I was going to say is how would that work? How would that transition to the United Kingdom?
It's not an option.
Is it even called the United Kingdom right now?
Yes, it is. It's the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland.
Oh, well, sorry. I thought it was like the Kingdom of Great Britain or whatever. Sorry.
It's been the United Kingdom since 1707.
Oh, shit. My bad.
We're sitting here having a history lesson.
Well, we're playing a historical game. Of course you're going to have history lessons.
This is to be true. And you guys are trying, and you're trying to find clues to what happened to the famous professor.
I mean, it became the United Kingdom in 1800.
It's a good point. Ireland is still part of the United Kingdom, all of it,
for 2 more years.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think right now the Irish should be in the middle of their War of Independence.
I think so. Yeah, I can't remember. It's 1923. I think the Irish.
Okay, so the War of Independence started in 1919. So yes, we are in the middle of the Irish Civil War, the Irish War of Independence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you're right. Basically, it's basically all of the islands of Great Britain.
So the clues are a train book, an address, and the fact there's no forced entry into the hotel room.
Yep. So either they killed themselves, they knew whoever came into the room, or the person was sly enough to do what I did and get a key, or somehow lockpick the door.
And the only people with keys with the spare key would be the receptionist and any maid that had access to room service.
If we're
gonna have to. The best thing to do is maybe have Brian smooth talk the room service.
If I succeeded at this time, then I get to check it so I can advance it.
I feel Brian would have a moral conundrum given the fact that if he's trying to sweet talk or flirt with room service, knowing that he has a fiance, especially given the time frame, men were very, very much what we call chivalrous at the time, but they were very much like, yeah, I have a fiance, I'm untouchable. So I would say that would be a moral conundrum.
Chivalry died at the Battle of Agincourt. Or not Agincourt. Was it Agincourt? I don't remember.
I'm gonna smack you with the
But
fish.
the thing is, this is also a time when women didn't have many rights, and men abused the hell out of that.
Women in the United Kingdom had universal suffrage before women in the United States, and this is around the time that women in the United States got universal suffrage.
Although mine is from the U.S.
Thinking about this, do we know when the approximately what time the fire happened at the professor's place?
It was nighttime, potentially 3 days. 3 days before the day you're currently playing in. So in the last 72 hours.
Okay. But do we know when these guys were killed? The Turks were killed.
Around the same exact time. You don't know exactly, but you can extrapolate. And as a matter of fact, if anybody wants to roll an intelligence idea check for that, I will give it to you.
Worst case, I can always ask them. I'm just wanting to make sure these are the same. If there's any possibility anything to preclude these from being the same guys. Right, that's just an intelligence roll, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. That's a hard success.
Hard success?
30
Yeah.
31 out of an int of 85.
Wow. What's the fifth of that?
17.
Okay, so yeah, okay, that is hard. I was thinking extreme success for you. You were close, but not that close. You can extrapolate out of a guesstimation that the fire and the murders happened around the exact same time. So there's no possible way that two people were in there's no potential possibility. So this is a theory in your character's head that they are not the same because
Right.
you don't have definitive proof, but you don't see how there could be someone traveling to the doctor's private estate, leaving there, and then getting murdered in a hotel room.
Yeah, the time doesn't match up. Okay.
Nope.
I'm not somebody who gets a tick.
So as Gregory leaves the room, and you guys see him go, you guys leave the corporal standing. He gives you guys a send off. You guys go back to one of your guys' rooms. I don't care which one. We'll say you guys go back to Gregory's room, and Draco is extrapolating the time and distance between the hotel, the doctor's private estate, and back. Gregory knows Draco knows for a fact that something's not adding up, that you guys are still missing a clue. If it was them, you don't have any definitive proof that it did not happen at the same time or close to, and that there's not enough time and distance between the two, because the theory is if they were the same guys and then they were murdered after the fire, something's not adding up right.
So basically, what you're saying is
it's too far apart, and there's not enough time for it to happen. It's almost like they were in.
Yeah,
it's almost like the three men that you guys think were murdered that may have had something to do with fire was in multiple different places at once.
So when did Draco become both a Harry Potter character and also Doctor Who character?
Oh, for crying out loud! He can extrapolate from a map. I'm pretty sure he had a map of London somewhere. Plus, he's a soldier.
I'm an English upper middle class English gentleman. What do you think? I went to no.
Okay. Anyway.
And you learned a lot from your grandfather.
Okay, so while he's making these deductions with math, distance, maps, and points of interests, Gregory, you have three clues you have three clues you consult on. Mame's current address, the book from the library that you know is from the library because you've seen him read it at the main London Library Museum, the famous one that you visited, and it was the exact book. You didn't know he checked it out. And then there is the third one, no forced entry into the room. However, while you're deducting that, Brian comes up with his own theory of his own. Brian, give me an intelligence roll. Intelligence idea.
Oh no. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh my god, I got a 27, and my intelligence is a 35.
Hey, he actually had a bright idea. He had a bright idea for what?
Okay. So
oh wait, no, I was reading it wrong. I'm sorry. It's a 72. I need to keep track of the dice in the one's place and the ten's place.
Oh.
I don't want to cheat everyone. I want to be honest.
Yeah, but darn.
Yeah, you're not spending the luck points on that either. So I can see that.
I know.
So he's sitting down enjoying some vanilla ice cream. Going.
All I can say is I just hope that the name on the front of that book that he's got is not the Reverend W. Audrey.
I can just see Brian there with one of those child toys that you roll between your hands, and it has those two balls on a string on the strings that makes that drumming sound.
The cup and ball toy.
Yeah.
I say if it is by the Reverend W.H. Audrey, then you can give the book to Brian, because he wrote the Thomas the Tank Engine novels.
Oh my god!
He said book about trains.
All right, that's it. Brian's going through a different phase right now. So Brian, you began having a flashback. You begin having, since you don't have any bright ideas, you begin having a flashback while eating some ice cream from the lobby that they were serving, and you remember a nice hot summer day in America. And give me just a hot second. Sorry,
the second is really hot.
Okay. Anyway, so as you're eating the vanilla ice cream from the lobby, you remember a nice hot summer day that you were spending with your fiance, who at the time was your girlfriend, and that you two were under the bed sheets, and you guys freaked out when you saw a bee fly in through your window.
Okay.
Was he having brain
What
freeze at
you
the same time?
What he saw that freaked him out.
Well, maybe he doesn't like bees. Who knows?
Are you allergic, Brian?
You wondered.
With a 30 constitution, maybe? Do we need to roll to find out?
You know what? Go ahead. Let's see.
This is how Brian died back in time.
Is Brian also having a brain freeze at the same time?
No.
Can we have a roll for that?
No.
No, but I succeeded. It's a 10, and that my constitution is 30.
Okay.
So you're not allergic.
You're not allergic to bees, but when you were a kid, you accidentally stepped on a beehive, and a bunch of bees swarmed around you, which you developed a phobia for bees.
Oh no.
Understandable.
I start screaming. I start screaming.
So he was screaming like Nicolas Cage from Wicker Man.
Oh, for God's sake, no.
I think he was screaming more like Nicolas Cage from the vampire movie.
Oh my God, not the bees! Oh my God, they're in my eyes!
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Nicolas Cage would command. Sorry, no. Refuse to acknowledge that movie. So, Gregory, what did you find while you were in there?
Since you're reliving a fear of swarm of bees, give me a sanity roll.
Okay. Do I roll with my power stat, which is 55, or with my current sanity?
No, just your sanity.
Okay, so 48.
48.
That's what my sanity is, and I rolled a 48.
Okay, you succeed. You don't lose any sanity over the stinging of bees, because you remember after you got done eating the ice cream was just so cold in your mouth, it just felt like inside your mouth the bee stings that you suffered when you were a child. And then you cut forward, and you remember your fiance was saying, "I will get that for you, dear," and that no matter what, she gives you this smile, that no matter what, she tells you, "I'm going to love you, even if you're afraid of bees, because you are a kind, gentle person," and she lets the bee go out the window. And shuts the window.
Oh, she's sweet.
Meanwhile, we cut back to the hotel room of the present day. All right, so
yeah, I am eating ice cream.
The ice cream's gone at this point.
Damn it.
Yeah. Well, you enjoyed it. You enjoyed the vanilla ice cream. Also the flashback. Anyway, because now you know how much in love you are with your fiance. Anyway, do you guys pull your ideas together?
Yeah, that's why I just asked Gregory what he found.
I found a book on trains. I found this note talking about the residents of the Memes, and also, what was the lot? Geez, 9 miles, and also I come to the realization that the room was not broken into, so something, either whoever broke in or whoever killed the Memes was either someone they knew or someone that had access to the room.
Oh, the room wasn't locked when they visited it, but yes, good, yeah, fair point. Can I? And is there anything particular about the book?
Well, I mean, let me open it up and see if there's anything inside of it. Maybe there's a clue inside.
And we are going to pause right there for a brief moment while I pull something up. We are going to be put on hold. Let's have everyone take a quick bathroom break. And I'm going to pull something up because this is going to bring up the next part of the adventure.
All right.
Yep, here we go. So I'm going to put us on a brief pause. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Awesome.
some of his wealth to, or not Colin, geez, sorry, Archer, if you use some of your, actually it is Colin, geez, I don't know what I'm thinking right now. I'm tired.
Colin would be
Colin
nice anyway.
would use some of his wealth to bribe some crooked cops to our...
Oh, I mean, Brian is the one who's the richest out of the three of us.
Yeah.
He has a 70% credit rating.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
right.
if we ever need to, we can always have Brian bribe a cop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're back online, guys. So yep, we're back, and okay, so you crack open the book, and it was actually bookmarked, and it says, and it comes up to this picture of this train, and it talks about this train was lost on the Liverpool Run, 1890. Yep, Liverpool. It was a story about a train lost on the Liverpool Run in 1897. All crew of the train and all passengers were lost, never to be recovered, and have been presumed dead.
You should remind me never to ride a train in Liverpool.
How do you lose a train? That's actually a genuine question. When you say the train was lost...
Give me a... I want Draco only. Give me an intelligence idea check, and I will tell you how this happened.
Oh, goody. No, education slightly, but intelligence idea. Oh, I'm glad I've got a nice high intelligence. That's 72. My intelligence is 85, so it's a normal success.
You recall, because it's not, you recall the train wreck in 1897. It fell off the rails. And the train itself was lost, as well as all lives on it. It was, you guys do not, you do realize talking about it in social standard publicly is poor taste.
Well, luckily we're not in a social position. We can talk about it in private.
Train disappeared. Okay. Yep.
No, it didn't disappear. It fell off the tracks.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. When you said lost, and
derailed and went into the watery depths.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's fine. It was I said that makes sense. It's just when it says lost, you think that's what I said. How do you lose a train? I get. Yeah, thank you. That's what I thought it probably would be. But okay, yeah.
Mind you, it was a big, nice train in 1897. It had lots of passengers. It was high class. But every passenger that ever bought a ticket and every crew member that ever worked on it is all now dead. So the train itself was a great loss and a great sorrow for your country.
Interesting. So why would they be interested in... Okay, I think tomorrow I'm going to be going to the British Library. I think I've got several things I need to look up. See if I can find out more information about this statue. I might have some contacts who might be able to help me out with something like that in historical societies, and given my character's background, I would say also possibly some sort of cult societies, and definitely find out more about this train, because what's this? Why would they be interested in a train that crashed? What did you say? 1897.
1897. It is 1921, so it's been 20-something years?
20, 23, 24. Yeah, no, yeah. Why would they have been interested in a train that crashed? 25 years, nearly 25. Yeah, why would they be interested in... It's getting a bit, because these... I don't think these can have been the guys that attacked the professor, because the times don't match up. I mean, they from what we can tell, they've been killed at quite. The attacks happened. It seemed to happen up pretty much the same time.
So the question: were these people that we were talking to? Were they friends or foes? And who is our real enemy?
Yeah, was someone... I mean, as far as we can tell, these guys were just killed. They were just... They weren't... no one seemed to... There seemed to be nothing beyond just killing them, getting them out of the way.
I mean, they're obviously important somewhere, because they were talking about, they were interested in our knowledge about the Doctor, and they were killed at the same time that the Doctor's house was burnt down.
Did the Doctor say, I can't remember, did Beddoes Doctor say that these guys attacked?
He said that some Turkish men attacked his house, but he did not indicate how many, and
I'm just trying to... I mean, as a player, I'm trying to remember if the attack was intended just to kill the Professor, or if they tried to get something from him first. That's what I'm wondering. If I don't know, we don't know. I can't remember as a player.
Didn't they want to try and get into the manor, or they wanted to get to the Doctor?
Or did they want to get after what he was studying? Remember, he was actually on the verge of a study.
And his notes were either destroyed or taken.
Yep.
So...
all his... well, as far as the Doctor told you, they were destroyed in the fire, as far as he knows.
Yeah. But so they were... So... we've got these guys who were... We've apparently got two lots of Turks who would appear to be acting at cross purposes, because no, we don't know who took these guys out. So we've got one lot of Turks, three guys using the same name. It might be worth seeing if that name has any particular meaning or connotation as well.
Well, we won't realize that until we investigate the Mamay's home.
So at Draco's mind, since you're almost like you're stumbling upon the actual answer, Colin, but I'm gonna say this is what your character comes up with, because of your character's social status and the amount and how influential he might be in this home country. You do know that because you're in London, that the embassy of Turkey might have some information on him, because remember, there is an embassy at this time that does track foreigners coming in and out of the country.
Yeah.
We need embassies in our castles and crusades game.
We've got the Professor's investigating something. You think he may have found something connected with whatever the hell happened to us in France. Then we've got a group of Turks, as far as we can tell, that are apparently working in opposition to the Professor, who then go and attack him, try to kill him, and either take or destroy his research. We get another group of Turks who are asking questions about the Professor, about the Doctor, who all seem to have the same name. As I say, might well be worth finding out if that name has any connotations. And they are killed pretty much the same time as the Professor's attacked. They're killed by someone, possibly someone they knew.
Or snuck into their room while they were...
Or snuck into their room, but were where were the bloodstains? Were the bloodstains in the bedrooms, or were they in the main room?
Well, hotels only have like one room besides the bathroom, so Or is this more of an upscale bedroom hotel with suites?
No. This is literally this is not a suite. It all basically one room. But that's the
Okay,
thing.
fair enough.
But
Okay.
that's the thing. They weren't killed in separate rooms. They were all using the same room and the same identity.
Yeah.
No. Okay, no, that's a valid point. So that yeah, as you said, either in their sleep.
And all the blood everywhere.
And when it's so, one possibility that comes to mind would be that they're part of one group, or they think they're part of one group.
Or they're part of two different groups, and one group betrayed the other one.
Yes, is what I'm thinking. Is that if there's some connection between all the Turkish, all the Turks, since there seems to be a connection to several connections to Turkey here, including apparently that's where this statue comes from. We've got, so maybe you get a situation where suddenly something happens that one particular group decides they need to take out all the witnesses, so they take out. At the same time as they're taking out the professor, one of their number or more of their number is with our Mehmets and takes out the Mehmets. Now, this is getting confusing.
This is where I take notes.
Well, let me restate what you guys came up with so far. Okay. All right, so you do think there's two sets of groups because Draco did find out that the potential time frame of death between the Memes, the three Memes, and then the attack on the professor was impossible for them to be in between at both times, which means it would place each of them in multiple locations at the exact same time if they were the same group. So they would have to have a fast mode of transportation, of which has not been number one achieved in this time. The other thing that Draco would have came up with is he needs to get information on the Memes, and the only place with vast information will be Gregory said it himself, his house, and the embassy of Turkey, which you can have access to and you can check with that, as well as maybe question the police for further questioning. You have a book that was bookmarked at a train that went off the rails and killed a bunch of people in 1897. Why is he so interested in that? But the Meme that Gregory saw at the library was interested in that book and actually had it. Not sure which Meme that was because there is 3 of them now. So that's what you guys have so far.
So, trying to think if how we should do this. If we should split up, have Draco go and visit the constable's, the police station.
That would be the inspector of Scotland Yard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Visit him, and also possibly visit the Turkish embassy and try and investigate there, and then have oh no, I just went blank.
Someone check out his house in the shop.
What I would have with the Turkish embassy. Yeah.
Have oh god, my mind just went blank on character's name. Brian join Gregory on investigating the house. I can use Brian as a I can use Brian as a distraction if there's any police officers.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, so he's all the way on the. I believe Islington is a little.
I also.
What's up?
I also want to look into this train crash because there's got to be something. Do we know the results of the train crash? So do we know what caused the train crash? Was there anything perhaps supposed to be on the train that maybe someone's connected this statue?
You will have to visit.
I want to find out.
Visit and do a research check. It'll be a library use at the London, the historical London Museum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's definitely going to be on there as well.
By the way, I was a little bit off there. The Hagia Sophia and the Sultan Ahmed Mosque are two different mosques. They're just across the street from each other.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, smack you with a fish. All right, anyway. All right, so Brian and Gregory is going to head over to Islington and check out the house and the shop. And meanwhile, and you guys were informed he lived in his shop because he was a businessman. And meanwhile, Draco is, where do you want to go first? You got Scotland Yard, the Embassy of Turkey, or do you want to go to the library?
I think I'll go to the library first because these guys might find some.
Well, for the night, you guys do sleep. Do you guys sleep in the same room or separate rooms?
Is it possible we can put a request to have our rooms moved to close to
like
each other?
connecting with doors.
Unfortunately, no.
I suppose having to go up and down through the floor.
Yeah.
We can always drill holes in the ceiling.
Well, I was going to say is that we could inquire any of our neighbors if they're willing to swap rooms, and maybe and possibly some monetary incentive by our good friend Draco here.
Brian is the rich one.
And Brian could also possibly put some.
Well, Brian is also an American in a foreign country too, so we would have to figure out the exchange rate.
I'm not certain we necessarily need to do that at the moment. I'm not sure necessarily. We've only got a couple more days to go anyway we've got 2 days left. 3 days left.
Well, 3 days.
3 days left before the bookings run out anyway.
We have time.
So I'm not. We could. I'm not certain that we would necessarily need to sort of consolidate our move in next door to each other. We could, and if you think if you want to go that way, we certainly could try. Or just talk to the receptionist, or brain switched off is what you call them. The doorman. See if it's possible to move around. I don't know, but I at the moment I'm not sure that's a priority. Be wrong. I mean, if you think if you want to move us in for safety's sake.
Well, I mean, they've already killed and they've attacked the professor. That's what I'm kind of considering about.
Yeah.
Well, consider your character should consider the possibilities of whoever attacked the professor, killed the maze, all invested in the professor's research, and let's put it to you this way: that would lead your characters to believe that it's very possible that they know everybody who was at the seminar if they knew who to attack and kill and where their whereabouts are.
Yes.
Which does leave you guys vulnerable in separate rooms and separate floors.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Fair point, yeah.
You actually have no idea if anyone's watching you. But you haven't seen anybody yet. Nothing suspicious other than what you guys have already investigated.
Well, I mean, I have... Since we arrived at the professor's hiding place, we haven't, to my knowledge, seen anyone because, after all, I did that little quick look around before we went into...
Even though it was a success, and you didn't see anybody, doesn't mean that nobody has been watching you. You might need a much more higher success than that. But that's game mechanics. That's game mechanics talk. That's more like player from GM to player talk as characters. What would your characters believe? Think about it. Just think about it for a minute. How would your character feel knowing what you guys know? How do you think your characters would feel? I want you guys to realize that. How would you feel in say, put yourselves in your character's position. If you're investigating a mysterious attack and murder, and that's leaving everyone stumped and very little information, and then someone investigating a train that was a train accident, 24 years old. Wouldn't that make you guys targets?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There'd
No,
be
that's
strength in
a
numbers.
very
So that's what I'm saying is
fair point, yeah.
we need to see if we can get our rooms moved closer to each other.
All right. So you guys go down to the. All right. So you guys go down to the receptionist, and you just see them right there going through booking.
Inquire if anyone is willing to change rooms so that we can be closer to each other.
Yep. That would require a persuasion roll.
Well, I only have a 20 from persuasion. Anyone else have something better?
Yeah, that's my my highest socialist persuasion.
All right, so
my persuasion is 20, I think. Let's see. It's 10.
But what about your? But see, don't think in terms of what I told you. You can think outside the box. Like, say, for instance, social status. We just had to talk about this. Credit ratings. That's
what I said. Is that we can also have.
Someone want to flash a high dollar bill?
Yes, I was saying earlier is that we can. We don't have to also. We if we need to, we can have our two rich gentlemen here. Say, hey, I have a couple extra bucks here if anyone's interested, or pounds.
And also remember, you do have 1,000. You also do have 1,000 pounds on you, which would actually grant you an advantage. So make the credit rating with an advantage, which means you roll your 10 tens die twice, and you roll your D10 die once, and you take the lowest value you can come up with.
I will let these two do it because my credit rating is not as good as
I was going to say, are we doing this? I take it we're doing this on the way out, so to speak, before we split up.
No. You guys haven't gone to bed yet.
We're doing this tonight.
To enact your plan. You're just trying to get your rooms merged tonight, so that way you guys feel that you're safe.
I got a 7 on my first tens die, and a 4 on the other. And let's roll the D10. 6.
6, so it's 46. If you got a 70 on one and a 40 on the other, you take the lowest because it's at advantage. 46. What's your credit rating?
70.
So is that a hard success or an extreme success or a regular?
That is not a hard success because a hard success would be 5 below.
Right.
Well, no, it would be 35, not 46.
Yep. 5 below would be your extreme. So nope. So you would need 35 or lower for that. So 46. I just wanted you to just tell me it yourself, but okay, it's a regular success. So you come up and say, what do you say?
Sorry. I say, I don't suppose you would, like some money.
Wow. Okay.
Very subtle. I mean, you could have said something along the lines
What are
the chances that we could have a little bit of room rearrangement and just so happen to take out a quick pound and just kind of dab his forehead?
Oh no.
I mean, remember, Brian has an appearance of 45, and appearance is essentially charisma.
Right, but you're bribing him. We don't worry about your looks. So
he also has an intelligence of 35.
So right. Okay, very true. So you come up and say, I need to change rooms with someone. Here's some pounds. What can we do? We got to be next to each other. And the receptionist is looking down, and He takes it and he says, I'll be right back. He petitions for some maids and busboys
Oh, great.
to
He's
come
going to
over.
die. He's never coming back.
Oh, wow. So he gets some busboys and some maids together, and they all go upstairs. They go to Brian's floor. They come back down and said, rooms for Draco Ravenwolf and Gregory are right next to you now on Mr. Lawless, and they're all ready.
Oh,
By the
good.
way, they look
Thank
like
you.
they were roughed up a bit.
They were what?
They were probably roughed up a bit. The
Oh,
freaking
dear.
maids are coming out, like, adjusting their skirts and stuff, and their hair's all messed up, and, yeah.
Oh my. Oh, geesh.
You bribed them, probably broke the law, but they did whatever they could to make you guys happy.
Now, are they, like, roughed up in the sense that they had a struggle, or did they roughed up as in the sense that they, took a little extra time to enjoy themselves?
Roughed up in the sense of they went upstairs, told someone to get the hell out of the rooms, and they probably said no, and then they threw them out.
Okay. You know what? Just for the good sport, I'm going to give them a couple pounds each, just for the.
They look around,
Just.
and they are just pocketing it. This hotel's definitely got some moral issues going on. Well, you guys got your rooms now. So you guys go up to your rooms. They
Okay.
They give you guys keys to the rooms, and you guys each go to bed. So you guys wake up the next day, and you enact your plan. All right. So Gregory and Brian are on their way to Islington. Meanwhile, where does Draco go first? Your 3 checkpoints is Scotland Yard, the embassy, or the library. Your pick.
Library.
Library? Okay. So you go to the Library
Yep.
of London, the Historical Library of London. And you need to give me a library use, please.
Mhm. Where are we? I know it's in there somewhere, and I know it's high. Oh. Same as my history, interestingly. Ooh, that's not good. That's a fail.
What'd you get?
Oh, no, hold on. No, sorry. No. What I get, I've misread the dice. Actually, I might have... I'll do that again because I thought I'd rolled a 17 as a 10, but I might have moved the dice when I moved around to double check.
I'll take
So-
10%. I'll take 10%.
Oh,
So that way we don't have to do it.
okay. I was going to say, because I say in that case, well, because 11 is a hard success. In fact,
yes.
11 is a
Is it a hard or extreme?
in fact, it's an extreme. It's just an extreme.
Yep. Okay. All right. So you go into the library and you find everything you can on the train that was derailed. As you did look everything up, it was kind of like stored away. Like you find yourself in the furthest part of the library, like kind of like the parts that nobody talks about, and you just
So you mean
going
like the archives?
something like that. Yeah. It's basically. But wherever he is, it's further away from somebody. So it's like this part of history is currently like just nobody wants to read about it. Like you're alone in a library during the day. You hear noises, but you know that they're on the other side of the library, and this library is huge, so you do hear echoes. And you find a clipping of the accident, and you begin finding some books about it. As you comb through the books, you take several hours. You do take a couple hours to do this. I wouldn't say several, but maybe about 4. This does take up your whole morning, but all the evidence and the clippings say that all the evidence of why that train derailed and killed everybody was basically reason why it did that has been inconclusive. There's been no evidence as to why it did it.
Nothing that's redacted.
Well, their version of redaction, probably back in that time, was they just never wrote about it or never kept records on it.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything about what might have been on it in the way of people, cargoes, or anything?
You actually have a passenger list of some names that was lost, and give me... You're going to need to give me... let's see here. Give me an occult roll.
An occult roll. Okay. Yep. Interesting. Yeah, my occult is 30, so... What's that? Oh, just 32. Just missed it.
So it was a failure?
It's just failure, yeah.
By how much?
2. I've got 32. My occult's 30.
Okay. Give me 3 of your luck points, and we will call it a success.
Oh, so I missed. I got outside of it. You say that's going to count? Thank you.
Yep, 3 luck points. And it'll succeed. So, do you want to spend those 3 luck points?
Yeah, go on.
All right.
How do I get luck points back? So I know.
I give them back to you.
I've got high luck.
I give them back to you.
Okay.
So you're gonna go from 56 to 60 down to 57.
Yeah.
So you spend 3 luck points, and there's a name that stood out to you, Randolph Alexis. You begin researching that name. Randolph Alexis was an occultist of some notoriety. There's writings and papers saying that he was part of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn to the Hermetic Order of the Silver Twilight. He lost his life. Randolph lost his life on the Liverpool train in 1897. He had a son, Albert Alexis, who disappeared in 1917, believed to be murdered by the person or persons unknown, as a few drops of blood was found in his home, while the area was also filled with, while the house was also filled with smoke.
The Golden Dawn was Alistair Crowley's mob, I think. Interesting.
Yeah, ArcherColin had started the OTO in 1909, 5 years after he got channeled from his wife, Rose Edith Crowley. Don't worry about that. I'm just spouting out occult history.
Okay. And there's no idea. So this guy was killed. So he was killed, presumably. Well, obviously he was killed at his home. He wasn't in the war or anything. He was.
No, he was killed on a train accident.
He was killed. No, the son.
Oh no, the son. He disappeared. They think he was murdered by a person or persons, but they don't know. All they know is the crime scene of when his son went missing. When they investigated, they found a few drops of blood on the floor, and the room was filled with smoke. It was suggested that assassins had tried to burn down the house to conceal the crime.
That sounds horribly familiar. How old was the son?
Does not say. You can't gain. You won't be able to gain his age.
Okay. Did they actually recover all the bodies from the train?
They did not.
Did they recover Randolph's body from the train?
They did not. They didn't recover any bodies, but they only know from the passenger ticket list, because when they sell tickets, they keep a ledger.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So you've now got 2 people who are disappeared, believed dead.
Yep. One disappeared 24 years ago. The other one disappeared about 4 years ago.
Yeah. I say they're about 20 years apart. That's why I wondered how would some was interesting. That's so. Find that one out. Okay. Is there anything? I don't suppose there's anything more I can find out. So they didn't find So the train fell off the rails into the river or something. They didn't recover any of the bodies at all.
Actually, that's the craziest thing. They said they just fell off the rails. They didn't give a location. They just know it was along the route of Liverpool. And they didn't actually say how they found the evidence that there was any people dead. It just said the train fell off the rails and everyone died. But no evidence proving as to how it is. Nothing was said about it.
Did they recover the train?
Don't know. Your research at this point has ran its course.
Yep.
No other names popped out.
Nope.
Well, fudge nuggets.
Anywho, so you pack up all your research. You got your notes. I'm assuming your character's carrying some form of parchment and paper to take notes. And
yeah, it's called notebooks.
Yep. Keep the clues. You pack up everything and you begin going to your next location, which you did say you wanted to visit Scotland Yard and the embassy. Which one are you going to go to now?
I'll go to Scotland Yard next.
All right. As you're going to Scotland Yard, Gregory and Brian has made it to Macaret's shop and house. So the address you guys went to led to where he lived. He lives upstairs on his own shop of his own antique store. And the shop it's tall, but it's small, and it has a close sign that rests in the door window. How do you guys proceed?
Well, I have a question out of character.
Okay.
Are we going to end soon?
Yes.
Okay, good. So
I'm just trying to get us because we're actually near the end anyway. We're like so close to the end, like there would be no point of another session.
Okay.
So sorry, I kind of blanked out. Were there police around the area or not?
Nope.
Okay then. I guess we go up and we check to see if the door's locked.
The door is locked.
Okay, I'll break it down with my brawling.
Oh, hold it. Before you do that, let's go around back and see if there's a back entrance so that we don't get any unwanted attention.
Yes, very true. Thank you, Gregory.
So there is the back door. And it too is also locked.
Okay, now you can break it down.
Okay. Now I'm going to roll. Try to get a 55 or less.
We've got an entire team of Cthulhu investigators and no one can pick locks.
Actually, would this be brawl or strength that I'm using?
It would be strength because all you're going to do is bust a window. I wouldn't say, anyone can punch a window.
Okay, so I rolled a 71 out of 75.
Okay, yeah. You bust right through. You bust your hand right through the window. You take no damage for it. It was easy, and you unlock the door.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys come in. There's an upstairs. There's a staircase leading up, which the upstairs would be the living quarters, and then you see coming through the back entrance. You see a storage room, and then you see the main. There's a door leading out to the main sales floor, which is pretty much just back in those times was a nice look, window shopping shop.
So hopefully the curtains are closed, drawn to make sure that no one can. Okay. Okay, start looking around. I guess I will probably need to do a perception check, aren't I?
All right, well, where
Or
you
not
going to go first?
perception, spot hidden.
Oh, cool.
Start in the shop and work my way to the storage and then upstairs.
Okay, all right. So give me a spot hidden roll.
I got 25, lower than, and I. Is it hard? Hard. It's after the normal. It's hard, right?
Yes. It's if it's lower than half, which is your top number, it's hard. If it's lower than the fifth, it's an extreme.
Okay, so then I got a hard success at 25.
Ooh,
My
nice.
hard is 35.
Nice. You noticed. So you checked both the storage room and you do check the floor, and it looks like there's dust around what used to be something displayed. You see something like a display was missing, and then the next thing you see on the counter in the back room, you notice one other thing that's been moved recently, and it says ledger.
I wonder what this is about.
So as you look through the ledger, give me an accounting roll.
Unfortunately, I don't have accounting.
I think I do.
Okay, then you do it.
I have accounting at 5%.
Well, so do I.
That's the default.
Never mind.
So do I, by the way. Praise I can do, accounting no.
Either way, it's going to be a fail for both of us unless we're really successful, which, nope, I'm not.
How bad?
Completely opposite direction.
Oh, like what, 99, 95, 100?
91.
Oh, geez, yeah, you don't even have enough luck points to even pay off for that. All right, does Brian want to give it a go?
He does.
All right.
That is a 16 over 5%.
You would have to give me, I would say, 61 luck points to succeed at this.
Nope.
We can at least
All right.
pocket it. We could at least pocket it and maybe take it to someone that maybe is a friend of.
Give me an intelligence roll.
2, not me, please.
Okay. I got a 61, and my intelligence is 75.
So you didn't find anything in the book that stood out to you. Maybe so you thought about so Gregory came up with this idea to pocket the book for now, because there's got to be something. I mean, it says ledger on it. You think it's got to be important to see how the shop is doing. You don't know how to read it, so you thought about just pocketing it for now and taking it to Draco.
Either Draco or maybe Draco has an accounting friend, since
Either or.
Yeah. And then move upstairs to see if there's anything in the actual apartment.
All right. Gregory specifically needs to give me an accounting roll, and I'm going to say advantage for him.
Alright, so how do I do the advantage?
Oh, you just roll. You roll your D10 once, and then you roll your 10 die twice, and take the lowest number.
So D10 once?
Yep.
And then how many times do I do the 10s? Or the 100?
Twice.
The ones?
Yeah, the doubles. It's the doubles. It's the one where
Okay, so you said
0, 0, 10, 20, 30. You roll that twice.
Okay, so the 10s I roll twice.
Yes.
Okay. I got a 0, 0, and 80. And then how many times do I do the other one?
Just once.
2.
You actually got a critical. Because the
Jesus,
0,
that's
0,
a 0 too,
because
yeah.
0, 0 is literally 0, and you got a 2, and you take the lowest one. So you got that. So you got 82 or 2. So yeah, you scored a critical on this one. You have a flashback. As soon as you enter the room, you look around, and you just instantly go back to the moment that you were in the hotel room. You looked around, you opened up drawers, you remember one important thing. There was no clothes. For 3 men locked in a hotel room for 14 days, they had no clothes there. And you go through this room, it just hits you like this huge light bulb. You start opening up drawers. There's no bed sheets. There's no pillows. Everything's empty. There's no refrigerator. Nothing. No luggage. Nothing.
And this is the apartment or the
This is the apartment.
hotel room?
No, this is the apartment. No, the hotel room was empty with no clothes. No one traveling, no luggage. And then you suddenly ransack the apartment and find the same thing. 3 men wearing the same clothing for 14 days.
That's not natural.
Not for a businessman.
No, it's not. So is there any... So do I see any actual... any additional clues besides that? Anything hidden underneath any piece of furniture that may have been dropped?
Nope. That's the crazy thing.
Brian, there's something funny going on here. So where have these gentlemen been staying the entire time?
I don't know. Should we go to the library to figure it out?
Always back to the library.
Well, as you guys begin traveling back, as you guys take the ledger and you guys begin traveling back, we're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes, but we got to give Draco his other 2 choices here. You're visiting Scotland Yard. Draco, you walk into Scotland Yard and you ask who is, you remember the investigator is called Inspector Fleming. And you go in and you ask for him.
Hey,
Can I help you, sir?
yes, Inspector. My name is Draco Ravenwolf.
I'm not the inspector. I'm the secretary. I'm his secretary. Would you like me to get Inspector Fleming?
Sorry, I thought you said I got. Can I speak to Inspector Fleming, please?
Yeah, I said you wanted to speak to him, but inspectors, they don't talk to anyone directly. You got to go through someone else at first. I should have mentioned that. It's like
Okay, no, that's what I'm saying. I've got someone. I'm asking.
Okay, and what's this regarding?
I understand. The inspector is in some gentlemen at the hotel I was staying at. I'm not sure. I have some information that may or may not bear upon his case. I'm not sure. It relates to Dr. Julius Smith.
You talking about the fire and the 3 murders at the hotel?
Yes.
And do you have evidence that they might be connected?
Direct evidence, no, but it's something that I don't have evidence proof. If I did, I would have produced. No, it's. I was a quite close friend of the doctor's, and it's some things that I've been working on for him, that may suggest a connection. I don't know.
All right, let me get them for you. So you wait a few minutes, and the secretary guy comes out. Mind you, it's a guy at this time, and he says, "Come with me."
Thank you.
And
he
walks you into the inspector's office, and he offers you, "Would you like any coffee?"
Wouldn't it be tea?
What's up?
Wouldn't it be tea at this point in time?
Oh, probably tea. Yeah, good point. Would you like any tea?
Yeah,
It's possibly tea time.
probably lunchtime, actually.
Yes, it's clear into the late afternoon.
So probably
Okay.
he probably has a spread of little sandwiches and some tea.
Okay, the point is he's offering a hot beverage.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Would Draco know this guy at all?
You know what? Give me one second.
Like he knew that one police officer.
I was
Give me a credit rating roll.
anyway. Well, okie dokie.
Are you sure you don't want me to roll that?
Well, hang on.
32. And my credit rating is 50.
Awesome.
Okay, so Inspector Fleming, you do not know personally, but you think has served in the war with you during that time period a few years ago.
Maybe
So-
there's some war medals or pictures on the wall.
Yes. All right. So he sits down and says, "Good afternoon. Your name is Draco Ravenwolf, is what you told my secretary, correct?"
That's correct, Inspector. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Inspector Fleming of Scotland Yard, and I would like to hear what you have to say on this case. This case is very puzzling. What do you have for me? I'll tell you what. You offer me some information, and I'll tell you what we have, and we'll see if there's any connection. I am looking for a witness statement of what happened to the good professor as he went missing. We have not been able to locate him or his butler, and we do not know anything much more regarding these 3 deaths of Mamay Macaret. So I'll tell you what. You help me out, I will definitely help you out. So what do you have for me in regards to this case?
Are you aware that the professor was giving a lecture?
Yes, I believe all of London was aware of that. He is a prestigious, renowned man.
No, that's fine. I didn't want to make sure. Myself and a couple of friends of mine, associates of mine, we actually go back with a connection with the professor back to the war. Over the period that we were there, each of us was actually approached by separately, individually. We were each approached by Mr. Mehmet, or as it would now turn out, a different one of the Mehmets. He seemed to be interested in what we knew about the professor and what the professor was working on. So I don't know. Obviously, since we also heard about the attack on the professor, there seems to be some sort of connection there. Obviously, I don't know what it is.
Let's back up your story for just a little bit. I'm taking some notes
Yes, of course.
here. You said each one of you was approached by Mamay Macaret yourselves?
Yes.
And the name of your associates? I'm assuming if you were not alone, who was the name of your other 2 associates?
Yes. He says checking character sheets.
And where I still suffer the same thing too.
Mr. Brian Lawless and Mr. Gregory Carmichael. Both of them are Americans.
Okay. All right. And you guys were here and all 3 of you were here for the lecture.
Yes. So we actually have.
Let's get some context to this case here real quick. How do you guys know the professor? Each one of you. Do you know how they know versus you?
Yes, we had a
incident during the war, during the final days
exactly.
of the war.
It's voice away. Yeah. We had we were in France towards the end of the war, and we had something happened to us that we couldn't remember the details of, We still can't to this day. And the professor was interested. He was actually helping us try to investigate and try to find out what was going on. My two colleagues were repatriated, of course, at the end of the war, but I actually remained in contact with the professor for a while. Well, obviously up until, unfortunately, his until the last time we saw him at the lecture. So I'm not sure. I don't know what connection is, but as it turns out in conversation with my colleagues, my associates, each of us was approached by a gentleman of Turkish or
Do you
Middle
know
Eastern
if
description.
let me ask you a question. Do you know if each mame that each of you was approached by was a different one each time? Or are you only drawing that conclusion because you heard there was 3 people with the same identity at a hotel? I want your honest answer.
We didn't realise they were separate ones until we heard this, and we discussed it, and in discussing it, we realised that they were different people.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm not sure we actually. I'm genuinely can't remember if I but we each were approached by a gentleman called Mame, and when we heard about these things, we discussion. We realised that they were. It would appear to have been each of us was approached by a different person using that name.
Okay. And did each of you notice maybe a different facial feature? I just want to know, do you know that they were different? Or was it just one person and then suddenly 2 people pop out of nowhere? I mean, what is your honest opinion on that?
We possibly have a role to see if that was brought up in an off-screen conversation.
Yeah.
Players,
Actually,
players now trying to remember a month ago what we said. But yeah, I'm reasonably certain that we discussed it. But
okay.
Certainly, I mean, if you want,
I'm going to say that there was no difference, because there was actually no difference between each visit, or at least that's how I played it off. So we're going to say that was not discussed.
It wasn't.
Okay,
We never did discuss if any difference between the 3. Then that's why I suggested, could we just do a roll for off-screen?
Give me Draco needs to give me a luck roll. You got to get, because you already spent 3 luck. You are now at 57.
Yeah.
You got to score under 57.
Okay. 31.
31. You have a flash. While the inspector's talking to you, you have a flashback. It's Gregory, Brian, and you in the flashback. You guys are in this flashback scene, discussing being approached by Mr. Mame Makarat.
Okay.
So you guys discuss if there was any differences or what he looked like. You guys do share a description, and there's no discernible description difference. It seems like you guys were approached by the same exact guy.
They all wore the same exact clothes, same exact hats, had the same exact facial hair.
Yes.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Remember too, it was not discussed yet, but you, Gregory, have a clue about that because there was no clothes in his house, in his apartment, and there was no clothes in his hotel.
Yep.
This is where we need to call in Fringe Division.
Because otherwise I wouldn't have had any reason to mention that to
At this point in time, we need to call in Draco's grandfather, the doctor.
Oh, for crying out loud!
No, sorry, TJ. I thought we'd realised I thought we'd realised we were definitely approached by separate people.
Nope.
That's what either player thought, because that's why I said what I said to the inspector. Otherwise, I probably would have mentioned it.
Yep. No.
So all we can say now is just that we were approached by a man named Mame, but we don't know which one.
Yep.
Maybe if the inspector's willing, we could possibly be called in to view the bodies.
I mean, this is out of character because Brian doesn't have any idea about bilocation, but there's probably a spell that can make 3 copies of yourself, and they all look the same, and you control all of them.
Well, that'd be something that the occult would, someone who with knowledge of the occult would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be probably more towards the Cthulhu mythos, which for all of you is at 0%, so there's no chance of winning that.
I know. When I went in, I thought we realised they were separate people. That's why I said what I said to the inspector.
I never made any difference. When I described him to each of you a month ago, I never made a discernible difference.
Okay.
So that
until
was
until each of us actually see, all 3 of us see all 3 of the bodies and maybe identify them, we won't know.
Okay.
All right, so you cut out of the flashback, and you're back in front of the inspector. Mr. Ravenwolf, are you okay?
I'm sorry. Yes, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just having a memory. Inspector. Actually, I owe you an apology. No, I don't think we did realise we. I don't think we did realise it was 3 different people. I think perhaps
Mr. Ravenwolf, let me level with you. Let me level with you for a minute. I'm not. If you're a little bit confused, I understand. You're at a hotel. You've been there for 11 days. Your time is almost up in 14 days. From my understanding, you did say that you had a relationship with Dr. Julius Smith. And he's missing, and I don't know how close you guys are, but if you are somewhat close on a psychological level, you could probably be distraught thinking that you and each of your colleagues saw a different person, given the fact that there's 2 more of you. This Mr. Gregory Carmichael and Brian Lawless, and you. And then there's also 3... I have 3 bodies. 3 bodies for you guys to identify to see if there's anything different. I haven't shown you any bodies yet, so you may thought or may have believed that each of you were approached differently, probably because of the location or anything like that. I completely understand. I'm not here to judge you, Mr. Ravenwolf. I'm here to try and take down your statement because you do have... we did not know that Mame was interested in the lecture. We knew he attended the lecture, but did not know much about him approaching anyone personally. This is the first I've heard of this information. However, does this help my case out? Not particularly, because this information still leaves a lot of questions. Like, for instance, why is there 3 of them? Secondly, there was no discernible clothes found in the hotel room whatsoever or on the bodies. Let me share some information with you.
Sorry. No clothes on the bodies?
So we didn't release this to the press because of the horrific nature, but each of the bodies were naked and skinned. From head to arms to each of the legs.
Ooh, sounds lovely.
With the spine taken too, and the skull.
No, the meat and the bones stayed, but the skin went away.
Damn it! I was trying to get you to remember Predator.
I knew the reference, but I'm in character. So, yes, they were skinned.
They didn't.
And stabbed. Or stabbed first and then skinned. I hope they weren't alive.
One hopes so, certainly. So there were no clothes.
Nope.
So if they were skinned...
Yep.
Sorry, did you say they were skinned from the neck down?
Head down.
I can't head down. So,
yeah.
So I
no
can't
skin,
so
there was no skin on their head, torso, arms, legs.
No distinguishing features.
Other than we could tell that they were male and they had teeth, and the teeth and the eyes are the exact same color and everything. Same height.
Interesting.
Very horrific.
Horrifying, but so
the only other two things that we have helpful in this case is Mame's address, which was not even helpful. We visited it, but it turned up nothing. There was nothing in the apartment upstairs. The shop didn't seem to have anything in it either that would discern why anyone would kill him and why there was 3 of them. The only thing that we did find was 3 identical telegrams sent from Paris saying, "Meet me in London at once. Urgent M." Each one of them had the same exact letter. It's covered in blood, but we were able to discern what was written on it.
So, what did you say the signature was? I didn't catch you.
It just says Urgent M. That's it. No signature.
Urgent.
So Mr. Mame Macarat was meeting someone, or each one of them was meeting someone here in London. But we don't know who, and we don't know who M is.
I didn't. Oh, right. So there was a signature. It was M, the letter M for Mike, for mother.
Yes. Sorry.
All right. Thank you. You know, that's like, I was trying to think. Okay.
Is there anything else that you may have that could be helpful in my case? Your relationship to the good doctor?
His location.
To remember the works of Mr. Conan Doyle. Well, I said, I mean, we remained friendly. We met quite often. We had similar interests. We were both.
Okay. Do you know what the doctor was working
on? Both.
That would make him such a easy target?
If I could remember.
He never told you?
No. Unfortunately, he had some theories about.
I mean, he was proposing a experiment or expedition of sorts.
Yes, Chris, you're not in the scene.
I know.
Yeah, but he didn't tell us what it was. Yeah. I'm. She said I the plays on her, but what he was working. No. What he was working on that might have any connection. I don't think he particularly mentioned it. I'm trying to think. It's interesting that.
We need to finish this up because this is the last session of the campaign.
Yeah.
No, it's not the last session. It's just the last session before the next chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to start the next part and leave a bunch of this part open because you guys are like literally we're inching towards the end. Like you guys are taking centimeter steps towards the end here. And I'm like, I'm not doing a third session of this part. It is not going to happen. Because we get stuck in this part and we do a third session. The third session is going to be 15 minutes. There you go.
Well, I say I'm as player. I'm trying to work out if I'm going to tell the cop I know where he was or not, and I don't think I am. Not that I don't necessarily distrust the police.
Only we're like that. He was down in Cheapside. Yeah. Remember, you were told not to reveal his location as that. He was attacked by Turkish madmen, and the 3 men in the hotel is Turkish, and you don't know if there's another party watching you. You could endanger.
Yeah, right. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Cheers. Thanks. I wasn't. I don't think so, Inspector. As I say, he was trying to help us. A lot of what we did was to do with the whatever it was that happened to us in France in 1918. As I said, I mean, I have an interest in this from the point of view of my own history, my own trying to find out what happened to us. Did you find any? What name did occur to me is when I discovered this. Is there any? Do you know of any particular significance to the name Mamay, which might explain why we have 3 people using the same name?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. We already visited the embassy, and the embassy did not want to talk to us at all. So my last thing that has that's where we got the address from, was the embassy, and that's all they had.
Okay.
It seems that the Turkey embassy has actually lost Mamay Makarat's files somehow.
How
They don't
convenient.
exist. So we weren't,
Is she
either they're
very-
lost or they're detaining them, and unfortunately without a successful good cause reasoning, they don't have any reason to show it to me. So unfortunately, Mr. Ravenwolf, this is, I guess, the end of the line for information from you, and this is all the information I have. So we still are trying to figure out who killed these 3 men, why were they the same, and why did they take their skin?
Why?
And who is, and the next question, who were they meeting in London with the letter M?
Indeed.
Moriarty.
Yeah, sorry, I already cracked the Conan Doyle joke.
But you think about Arsène Lupin, the French cat burglar, gentleman thief.
For raffles. I find it the most intriguing thing to me, actually, Inspector, is that you say there were no sign of any clothes. Was there any sign that had ever been, that they'd ever had any clothes? I mean, if there's nothing in the apartment or in the hotel, first off, one is tempted to wonder why they was needed to stay at a hotel when they live in London. Did it look like clothes had been removed, or as if there'd never been anything there?
No evidence of that at all, actually. There was no evidence, so there was no forced entry into the hotel room. So whoever was in there with them, if there was anyone in there with them, they knew. And they willingly removed the clothes, gave them to the person, and they were either stabbed and skinned, or skinned first and then stabbed later as a final shock to their bodies. No matter how you want to cut this case, it was a horrific murder, possibly, or suicide of some strange ritualistic... I can't tell you what. Or we may have one of the most sickest Jack the Ripper types out there killing men.
What if they were stabbed while they were being skinned?
Yes.
I mean, you have a that's a word that occurred to me there as well.
Suddenly as you're talking, you were interrupted with a knock on the door, and a constable comes in and says, "Inspector, we need to see you immediately. I'm sorry to interrupt. I know you're in the middle of one case. We have a problem, and we need you to come with us. We're being dispatched." Mr. Ravenwolf, I will show you to the door. Thank you for talking to us, but unfortunately, if we want to continue this conversation, it will happen at a different time. I must ask you if you could please try to stay in London in case I have any further questions. I know you're staying at the hotel, at the Chelsea Arms Hotel. If I have anything else, I'll contact you if you're willing to stay there till your time is up.
Yes, Inspector. Thank you.
All right. And I may want to meet Mr. Lawless and Mr. Carmichael.
That was going to be my next question to you, actually, Inspector. Yes.
Let me one case at a time. I'm being dispatched to another potential crime scene or issue, so let me take care of that first. Meanwhile, just go wait at your hotel, and I will be in touch.
Thank you, Inspector.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Yep. So given that what he told you about the embassy and that they already investigated that, you go back to your hotel room where you meet up with Brian and Gregory, and you. How do you guys meet up? Do you guys go to the same room? At this point, it is almost. It's about dinner time at the hotel, and they're serving dinner. What do you guys do at this point?
We meet in a private or semi-private corner of the hotel's restaurant, and we discuss our findings.
Okay. So you guys are together. Discuss away.
Also want to find out when the next Orient Express leaves.
Yes.
Or the timetable for the Orient Express.
We have one more day left, right? So
no. Right now you have 3 days left. You're going down to just 2.
Okay, well then we have enough days to buy supplies and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just on.
So
No, but
Brian,
it's just so bad because I can't connect to my dad about what game we're gonna play.
what?
Never mind.
You roboted a bit there.
Oh, I said, I really hope we finish this quickly because I am about to talk to my dad, and he's getting tired. So.
Oh, if
okay.
we could stop it right now. We could just pause it right here where you guys are going to discuss your findings. And I don't really have much of anything to do tomorrow night. If you guys want, we could pick this up tomorrow. I don't really like to do that, but this is going to be my last, like, it's either going to be today or sometime this week. Like, this is it for the rest of the month for me. So, what do you guys
I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that.
All
yeah.
Right. All right. That way we can
I might not want to be.
What's up?
Yeah, I don't want to be overly late tomorrow night because I'm up early-ish on Sunday. But yes, we'll certainly pick this up tomorrow evening.
Do you think you're finishing the session pretty quickly tomorrow?
We should be able to. Well, you guys are literally you guys are really at the end. There's just something else I need to say real quick. So, you know what? For better sake, I mean, it is a good idea, but we could just continue. If you guys want, instead of Castles and Crusades on the 3rd, we could do Call of Cthulhu and then finish it up on the 3rd, which is the next Friday.
I mean, I can go a little longer if need be.
Okay. I mean, it really doesn't have that much more left.
Okay, I'll keep going then.
Yep. All right.
I mean, if we start off by sort of saying, okay, yes, we fill each other in what we've happened.
Yep.
Because we.
So
done.
Gregory and Brian presents the ledger and the fact that there was a display of something missing on the shelf, and the fact there was no clothes in the hotel room or the apartment. And you, of course, was informed by the same evidence of the police that there was no clothes in the hotel apartment, nor the bodies, nor was there skin on them. And they do have the ledger to present.
Yeah. Yes. I heard about that. I also found out about the state of the bodies.
Could it be possible that I reckon? Is it possible that I recognize the shape of the dust indentations?
No. It's just a square shape.
Right. So it was a box.
That's the only discernible thing, that it was a box of something.
Yeah, so we have quite the conundrum for us. We have 3 dead bodies that were skinned in our hotel with 3 individuals that claim to be Mamay. And the good doctor's house has been burned down. He's in hiding. And there's obviously another set of Turks running around London looking for the doctor. And at least they've succeeded in getting the information they want from him.
Yes. Must admit, it sounds a little bit... this train... there's a bit of an... With the train... It's the strangest thing. I wasn't really old enough to remember the incident. I was only a youngster, but I mean, all the research I could find, I'm actually not even sure from what I found that they found the train. There were no bodies. Everything was apparently reconstructed from passenger lists. One of the passengers was
Randolph
a
Alexis.
chap named Randolph Lexus, who was, I don't know if you guys have anything in your, you must have, what you said,
Spot hidden roll Gregory. Spot hidden roll Gregory.
Oops, jeez, that went flying. 32, and so it was a hard success.
Oh, goody.
Awesome.
So as he says the name Randolph Alexis, you were looking through the ledger, and you saw the name Randolph Alexis in the ledger. And so as you're going through it, it says the Wrightson Special Commission train set purchased by the estate of Randolph Alexis about 3 months ago. Last item sold. The train was delivered to Mr. Henry Stanley of Stoke Newington for £1.
Guys, look at this. And so I'll show the book to them with this section to the to what's his face name?
Randolph Alexis.
Randolph Alexis.
His estate.
Do you recognize?
This,
Do you recognize? Do you
He's-
recognize anything with this, Draco?
what was the name again?
Randolph
was-
Alexis. The
No,
estate-
no, the guy that sold it.
Oh, the guy that sold it was Mamay. The guy who
No,
bought
Mamay
it.
sold it.
Okay, so Mamay sold it to the estate of Randolph Alexis 3 months ago, but
Oh,
the train
okay.
was delivered
Okay.
to a Mr. Henry Stanley of Stoke Newington for £1.
Right. Does that name Henry Stanley mean anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
No role for that name. That name is just out there. You're not sure who Henry
No, that's-
Stanley is.
No, that's okay. What was the train set called again?
The Wrightson Special Commission train set.
Right. Is it worth? Would it be important if I ask you how Wrightson is spelt?
Wrightson.
Oh, the proper way of spelling it.
Yeah, no. I think Wilbur Orville.
So it was a model train set.
I just
Yes.
yeah,
it was a
but
model
I
train
just had a
set.
horrible.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have like an epiphany roll or something like
That would be an intelligence
You're
idea.
that? Jeez,
You
did
mean
not
the
mean to
fact
throw
that the train might be the disappeared train?
Well, that, but also something else as well.
Well, I just had a shiver
I-
down my back when that.
Darn. Okay, I kind of came up with it just now. I do I really need to do a roll, or can I just say what I just kind of thought of just now?
Okay. What was the roll?
It was a 79, so it was a fail.
Okay. What's your intelligence idea?
It was no. What I was going to say is that the indentations in the dust could be the train set itself that was
Oh,
sold.
well, yeah. You don't need a roll for that one. I thought you were going somewhere.
I was
else
going to
with that.
say, it just like all of a sudden came to me. It's like, wait a minute, I don't need a roll for this. So I mean, could it be? So the indentations in the dust is a train set. It comes
In
as
a
a
box.
boxy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
I just had an even nastier thought connection.
Give me an intelligence idea roll, and I will tell you how close
I-
you are.
You don't want me to tell you what it was?
Give me an intelligence idea. Let's see if you know.
He does not.
51,
And what's your intelligence?
85.
Oh,
Damn it.
you definitely know.
So that far off.
So tell me what it is, and I will correct you. You succeeded at putting a connection together.
Well, the thought that just sent a shiver down my spine, as I was saying, everything was put together from records.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even find any concrete evidence that they found the train.
Mm-hmm.
And now, so we have a missing train.
Mm-hmm.
His son, apparently, is believed killed during a kidnap attempt. Blood, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got a train set turned up. How much of this is my 21st century brain and how much is all the 1920s antiquarian wonder if the train had been shrunk?
Oh, okay. Well, I can't tell you that answer because there's no way for you to know that. What would your Cthulhu mythos be at for that?
No, I'm saying you saying that, and I thought
Okay.
train set, missing train.
Okay.
Connection there.
So here's the connect.
I don't know.
Here's the connect. I mean, you had an awesome idea, but let me help your character out a little bit. Okay. The Wrightson Special Commission train set. That was the name of the train that went missing. You had Draco had a flashback of learning something from forbidden history. Remember that you had a memory that you met someone from the Train Watchers Association, which happens to be here in London. And that will be your next clue.
Oh no, does that mean that Draco is the kind of person who goes in the 21st century up to a train and just like freaks out about the train?
I don't know. No, and then
So
you remember speaking to them, and they remember saying that the Wrightson Special Train Commission train set was there, but they didn't. As the Train Watchers Association loves model trains, they don't like that one, and you never figured out why. And your character's thinking, what if that was the train that derailed and killed everybody?
That's what I'm thinking. So that the Wrightson was the name of the train that derailed. Yes.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep. But there's no name of it on any paper that you can find or get your hands on.
Do you know what, guys?
What?
What's it called? It's called the Wrightson. The train
Wrightson
set
Special
is called
Train Set. Yep. It was specially commissioned.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm wondering. Okay.
So
Okay.
You remember hearing about it from someone who said they were part of the Train Watchers Association.
The Wrightson was the name of the train that crashed.
Yes, but you don't physically know that because there's nothing on paper.
No, but so you said that I heard that from a member of the Train Watchers Society.
Well, yes, but the thing that I'm trying to lead your character that I'm trying to throw out there for you is that you don't have any more information on that unless you visit the Train Watchers Association.
But so do I know? Did I? What I'm saying, I understood that I had this flashback. Train Watchers Society, mate, income to telling me that the Wrightson was the name of the train that crashed. That's why they don't like the train set.
Yes.
Or am I misunderstanding that?
Yes.
Look, I'll say for more weird guys. Train that crashed. Apparently, according to someone I talked to a while ago in a train society, train contact one gets, the Wrightson was the name of the train. So at the very least, this train set was at the very least made as a commemorative piece.
Actually, you don't know if it was
Do
made as a
remember-
commemorative piece.
Right.
All you know
Someone had
is
especially made.
it's among discussed with the Train Watchers Association.
But someone had to have it specially made if it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it
like
says it says it's a special train set.
commission.
Yep.
New commission, right? So it was commissioned. So,
So somehow,
either it was at
somehow
the very
the-
least commissioned because of the train crash, or it is the crashed train somehow.
Well, obviously, someone had it specially made. In which case, who? And I think the person that
Well,
I think the person that we should ask is your friend at the Train Watcher
Yeah.
Association.
Yeah, definitely, very definitely. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some major connection there to this crash train. That's
So dinner is pretty much done at this point. You guys have spent a few hours discussing this, so it is pretty late.
And to go to bed, and then probably set out to visit Draco's
Yep.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
You guys head off to
I
bed.
think
Each of
so.
you head up. Each of you head off to your own rooms, and you shut the door one by one. You lay down, and the scene goes black, and then the sun pops up, and each of you go downstairs for breakfast, and on there is a newspaper that says "Man disappears in cloud of smoke. Spontaneous human combustion linked to triple murder case." As you read it, this is what it says. Police are investigating the disappearance of Mr. Henry Stanley, 41, of Stoke Newington, who was reported missing last night by his landlady, Mrs. Constance Atkins. She alleges that she heard a cry from Mr. Stanley's upstairs room at 8 o'clock. He did not answer to her knocking, and when she opened the door, the room was full of smoke and there was no sign of him. Mr. Stanley is not married. He is a noted train enthusiast and a member of the London Train Spotters Association. Spotters, not watchers. I got that mixed up. His disappearance may be a case of spontaneous human combustion. Police have refused to comment on this. Similar cases have been reported in England earlier this century. The most recent known was that of Mr. J. Temple Thurston, who burned to death in his home in Dartford, Kent, in 1919. It has been revealed that a model train set was found on the scene, had been purchased last week from the shop of Mame Macarat. The child's toy may have caused the fire. In recent articles, 3 bodies of all identified as Mr. Macarat were found earlier this week in the Chelsea Arms hotel room. Police have not ruled out the possibility of a link between the 2 cases. To be continued. Dun, dun, dun.
That's not what the guy was called away for. Of course, it wasn't 8 o'clock in the evening when he was interviewing me. This guy disappeared in a puff of smoke.
Was it 8 o'clock?
You know, I told you about.
Was it 8 o'clock? Because dinner could be served between
Well, no.
6 and 9.
No, but that's no. She said he disappeared about 8 o'clock, right?
8 o'clock at night, yes.
Yeah. So
No.
that can't.
She didn't say he disappeared. She said that she heard him cry.
Okay, so but no, what I'm saying is 8 o'clock at night, right?
Yep.
Well after Inspector Fleming had been called away to something else. So that wasn't what Inspector Fleming was called away for. But, you know, I said that guy disappeared on the train and his son disappeared years
Yes.
later.
Yep.
There was something in the reports there about being smoke in the room there as well.
Yep.
Brad,
Of
smoke.
Mr. J. Templeton Thurston. And then Albert Alexis had a few drops of blood were found with a smoke-filled room. Suggested that the assassins tried burning it down. But
You know what they say about no
everybody,
smoke without fire?
but all this is a discussion and scenes for another session. So,
We're gonna have to
that's it for
remember what this-
today. That's everything that we have for this, guys. We did just finish up the first part of the Horror of the Orient Express.
Awesome.
I do apologize. I know I had to lead some of you guys on because you guys were literally like, we went from making excellent timing to you guys were inching to centimetering to millimetering, and I'm just like, oh, come on. The answers are right there.
Yeah, we're going to play. It's all for you. You've got the answer. You know what the answers are.
I'm like, come on, finish this off. We should not be going this long. The last part, you guys literally spent. You guys like spent one section of this whole session literally took you guys 2 hours, while the other section took you like an hour, maybe even less. It's like, come on. Well, I'm glad you guys had fun.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
well, we won't be meeting up tomorrow because I do have other plans tomorrow too, and I had to be mindful of that. So we'll put this off, and since Colin has to be up early on Sunday, we'll put this off to the 10th of November because next week is Castles and Crusades. Or do you guys want to continue this?
Okay.
I like the alternation because you get the feel of both games.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll just have to take a break from one of them and then switch to another game like Star Trek or...
Oh yeah, well, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Depending on when we finish Castles and Crusades, Chapter 4 is going to be the last one for the year. We won't begin Chapter 5 until after the new year. I want to even so if we finish that up soon, yes.
Oh yeah, I'm going to give us a break. We've been doing that for what, a couple of years, haven't we? I think now.
No, well, we've been playing Castles and Crusades for almost a year. I believe we started in November was the first session. So our first year, we are doing Castles and Crusades up until the end of the year unless we finish Chapter 4. I don't, like, if we finish Chapter 4 before our first year marker, I'm going to have a special stream where we're going to do some things with our characters during that session because that would be our first year marker. We got to have a celebration of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I mean, considering that most D&D games only last 6 sessions, we're way past that.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were way past that. Well, but you got to remember there was a couple times we missed. Like I believe April, we didn't play all of April though.
Well, yeah.
But we had.
But it's still more than 6 sessions.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Hell, Chapter 2 was 8 sessions alone, while Chapter 1 was 4. Chapter 3 was only 2, and then Chapter 4 we're coming up on the 3rd session. So let's say 4, 8. That's 12. I think I've got like 17 or 19 videos there, guys. So yeah, we, you know, we're well there. So, but I want to keep going with it because I want to stick towards a world and develop a world of my own for these games because I just like that. That and it keeps you guys going up in levels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
but
guys
eventually we're gonna get so high in level that we'll just have to retire our characters because they're gonna be so powerful.
I already
have plans on what to do with my character if he lives long enough.
Well, that's it. That's if they live long enough. They will. There's going to be. So we are. I put so much work into the main campaign. I've actually decided to make some changes to it. We will talk about that at a later time. I just wanted to let everyone know, and probably let everyone know on stream for those who likes to hear our news. So I did make some changes to it, but there will be 14 chapters that I have planned out. I have notes on everything. Wow. So we are. I've written out 8 of them completely. So I'm over half done on making the materials. There will not be, and I did find out there will not be maps every session or every chapter. So the maps are way ahead too because that won't be in every chapter either. There's not always a dungeon to crawl through. For instance, chapter 6 or 7, you guys are actually going to the capital city of Evermore.
Oh.
Yep, and then
nice.
you guys will be going to Elfheim at one point.
Oh, Tabletop, I have a question.
Yes.
Have you figured out how to use Foundry yet?
I'm still learning it. I'm still getting the tiles and stuff, but I did figure out how to make the tiles and how to expand it, and I'm already working on it. I actually have some things to show you guys on that, because I actually I remade the battlefield of the White Walkers versus the what is it? The
Night's Watch?
Yeah, the Night's Watch from Game of Thrones, using the book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I actually added in a different flair. I made some changes. I was supposed to do a solo play on that sometime this year, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I made tokens and everything too. So yeah, yeah. So I've done some stuff. I made the snow tile. I actually got the snow tile itself, made that, and I actually got tree tiles and stuff. But I'm looking at actually purchasing some real licensed map packs that I can just throw right into Foundry, because I actually figured out how to insert all my own images and stuff. So yeah,
Wow.
we're gonna be getting there real soon. I just gotta have. That's the other thing. When we finish up chapter 4, and that's why I said we're gonna stop for the rest of the year, other than the celebration session we're probably gonna have. That's why I said we're gonna take a break probably until after New Year's, and it'll probably be a week or two after New Year's before we pick up Castles and Crusades again, because I'm hoping once we pick it back up, I will have Foundry done and have everything done that I need. That is my hope.
Oh, I don't know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, other than that, well, that's the news, guys. And,
Oh, I remember.
here we go.
So everyone who's watching, if you haven't heard about Adventure Conquer King system, Imperial Imprint 2nd edition, go and back it. It's really expensive, but you're going to get really cool books. And if you back at a certain level or pay for an add-on, you'll get a Poplar slipcase for your 3 books to go into. It's like whereas Castles and Crusades is the more simplified kind of storytelling kind of game, Axe is the more simulationist, like building a world and playing in that world and simulating that world. And I think anyone who watches our stream would get a kick out of that game.
Yeah, I've actually been looking at that myself a little bit. So, but right now, I just gotta get through the holidays first.
Yeah, I understand.
Before I start, because I've already backed up Castles and Crusades, Angels and Demons, the books that they got coming out for that, and then I already backed up the books that they made for the War Mounts, which those are going to be freaking awesome. I've got PDFs and physical copies of coming of each one. So, yeah. And then I got some additional bonuses because I went a little higher than I should have. And so and then we did get the stretch bonuses on most of those groups. I think we actually maxed out on the stretch bonuses, so yeah, Trollord Games, man, guys, that's where it's at for right now. I mean, I'm still willing to check out other RPGs. We eventually got to get to Star Trek and stuff because I promised Chris that I will teach him about Star Trek, so I got to remember there's that going on too. So
figure out a way to not freak out Chris about the economic system.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like how the economic system is basically a communist dictatorship?
Oh my god,
No.
Here we go.
Let me just explain this real quick. So, in early Star Trek, there was money, and the thing I heard was that, or I read about in someone else's interpretation that really made sense to me, basic needs and wants are taken care of in the core worlds of, like, Earth, Vulcan, whatever. But if you want to get beyond that and achieve better resources, get better stuff, get more influence, you have to go into service with Starfleet or as a trader or merchant or whatever. A writer, an artist, you can do all that kind of stuff. So it's not so much like everything you need and want is ever taken care of with no issue. It's then...
The thing is, when they created the the replicator, whatever they call it in Star Trek.
Yes,
They kind of came up with a post-scarcity society. So, as you said, you've got the technology to as long as you've got the resources in the first place, because they don't create sundown or nothing. You've still got to have something to convert into
water or something like that.
Yeah, but you still got that. But how whatever nothing. But so yeah, you've got that. But that's the more resources you need. It's not entirely. It's maybe post scarcity, but it's not an everything's free society.
Well, yeah, but like they don't really have a monetary system, and there's no way to like.
I think that is something that we can talk at a different time. Let's just wrap up the stream real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Colin, do you have anything final to say to our guests here?
Not at the moment. No.
All right, Witch King. Any final words?
I am going to attempt to stream again because it turns out that when I was streaming my 38-minute solo session of Infected, the sound was off.
Oh, that sucks.
So, yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. Maybe redo it or recap it and then play another session. But yeah, I hope to do that before the end of this month, if not early next month. And yeah, that's what I plan to do.
And SpartaChris, regardless of what you say, I have a counter argument for you tonight. So I will tell everybody what that counter argument is. But you tell me, what do you got going on? Anything at all?
Besides being here with you, Table, my good friend, nothing
Ghostbusters
really.
tomorrow night. Ghostbusters tomorrow night with some new people, and let's take Witch King out, Witch King's channel out for a spin run and get him out there.
I actually have Ghostbusters Resurrection or whatever it's called, so I can play with you guys.
No, it's Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one I have.
Oh, good. Well, that's how SpartaChris got my channel out there. We came across a few people who actually had their own channel streaming at the same time. So let's get him out there next. Let's get him more people.
The way that I found out about them is I'm friends with Static 2020 and Fractured Filtered, and they were doing a stream with their friend Melee Games. And so I just simply asked, "Hey, do you need a fourth man?" So they said, "Yeah, come in."
Well, we got our 3, so we'll still figure that out. But I want to do something nice for Witch King.
We downloaded it because when I downloaded the first time, I was like, "Oh, I'll start playing with you and Chris," and then you didn't play it for a while, and then I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that's because I will tell you guys why that happened. I can't tell you on stream. Anyway, well, so tomorrow night, SpartaChris after work, Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Work
and then
shower,
at some point in time, starting next month, I'm gonna get back into gaming and maybe do some get back into some stuff that I was enjoying before,
as long as that doesn't take you away from role playing with me.
I will try to schedule around that.
No. There is no try. There is do or do not. Little Yoda there.
Okay.
No. I'm sorry. Athar is too big of a character now. You can't leave.
Athar is going to become the Yoda type figure in the world.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for a wizard that doesn't have much of any combat skills. You kind of kick some ass. So.
Oh, he does.
I didn't really do much last time. I mostly hid behind Gorg. What? God.
Greenie.
Also, his Greenie is what his halfling family calls him. His real name is Karg.
Okay.
Yep. But we don't call him Karg. We just call him Greenie because it's the only one we can remember and the only one we care about. So, That'll
gee.
happen next week, folks. So join us next week.
Yes.
And hopefully no one gets stuck in the outhouse anymore. Because we've got
Extra dimensional outhouse.
because we've got this is what we got.
Yes.
This is what we got coming up. Listen up here. There is more treasure and loot coming up on this dungeon for them. At the end of this dungeon, they're going to have maybe not the most spectacular magical items, but they're going to have something. Stay tuned.
I'm
All right.
excited.
Yeah. You guys
Keep
all
your
have a great,
fingers
wonderful
crossed for
night,
that.
and thank you for tuning in for my gaming session. Remember to always work hard, play hard, game hard. As always, game on, everybody. Have a great and wonderful night.
Good night, everyone.
Right, folks.
Bye.